Hello, everyone. How are you on this Tuesday evening, very end of August? Oh, so good to be back for Let's Get Spiritual. How fun. My goodness, I feel like I have been out of the loop. Out of the loop of streaming. I feel like I haven't streamed in forever. I don't know why it's been feeling that long. I know it's been a while since I have streamed. I think it's been at least 3 weeks or something, but it just seems like it's been so much longer than that. I was usually pretty on top of streaming fairly regularly, but life has gotten very full, especially now that things are, lifting more and more and more and more, and things are kind of coming back to normal since COVID. Thank goodness. So yeah, life is busy these days. Things are really moving and shifting. How are you all doing? Pop in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. What's going on with you? What's going on in your world? What's alive for you? And again, welcome. Welcome to Let's Get Spiritual. I am your hostess, Fluidgirl. So happy to be here. Tonight, we are talking about free will choice. That's right. I'll tell you why this topic was up for me as I was, pondering what talk to do. And this came as an inspired thing, and I'll tell you the story behind it. But before all that, just want to say this week is all about streaming. I'm very excited about it. I'm also going to be doing my DJ stream called Fluidity on Thursday. It's going to be 8 p.m. So if you like music, please tune into that. I'm going to be playing some breaks that night, some ambient breaks. I don't remember exactly what kind of breaks, but I got some good breaks in there. So if you're into that kind of thing, please come. I'd love to play for you. And I am excited to say that I am going to be DJing live. I just got an opportunity that just came in for me to DJ live at this private party in a few weeks. A week before my birthday. Yay! September, my birthday month. Very exciting. So I'm going to turn this music down. I think the music can be a little bit loud. Just make sure it's not going to be blasting you so you can hear my voice. But yeah, so it's going to be a really exciting month. And then at the very end of the month, if you're near Carmel, Monterey, that southern area of the Bay, I'm actually going to be playing in person at this bar called Bar Mel. And I'm going to be playing from 10 to 2, at 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And I'm really excited because I'm going to be down there for a friend's wedding. And I'm going to be playing the night before their wedding. And I think they might have their wedding party there, but of course anybody can come. It's a bar, and it's really fun. I DJ'd with my friend White Light, and we had a great time together. And shout out to White Light. She got me that opportunity, so love you, sweet sister. And we had a great time, and it's just a really fun vibe there, really cool. We met some really interesting people. I think we met John Wayne's nephew. That night down there. So it's really, you just never know who you're going to meet when you go out these days. It's just crazy. So if you're in that area, come down. Again, Friday, September 30th at 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. If you're in the area, would love to play for you. Not sure what I'm going to be playing yet, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So little opportunities are coming in more and more in-person stuff, which I absolutely love, which is kind of why I've been busy. I haven't been streaming a whole lot. I've been really promoting more in-person events and building in the area that I live here in Sonoma County. And speaking of building, I just did a sound healing at this new center that I've been working out of in Sebastopol. And I have another one booked on October 9th. I'm going to be doing one once a month. It's on a Sunday, October 9th at 12:15 p.m. If you are connected with me through my website, you can check it out, grovecirclehealing.com. It has all my events on there when I'm doing things, so check it out if you want to come and see me in person for a sound healing. Although I don't have my DJ stuff on there, I haven't been promoting in that way on my website because it's more healing vibes. But if you're friends with me on Facebook, then you'll see all of my stuff. I'll be posting about where I'm going to be and what I'm going to be doing, so please keep an eye on that because I want to be sharing with you too. And another awesome thing that I just got booked for is a full moon all women's retreat. And this is on Saturday, September 10th. Again, September is going to be a great month and full of goodness. And it is at a private place in Occidental, California. And it's going to be an all-day event. I think it's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. All day potluck and being in nature, quiet time for women. I'm going to be offering a sound healing during that time. Going to be really powerful. We're going to be doing full moon intentions. It's just some really wonderful ladies that are going to be a part of that. So if you're interested, please let me know. I haven't posted that on my website yet. I need to be on top of that and do that. It's coming up soon. But if you're friends with me on Facebook, you will see that. And again, it's Saturday, September 10th. And if you're friends with me on Instagram, just go at just Fluidgirl, and you can find the information there, because I am posting regularly on there, like where my DJ stuff is and the other events that I'm doing, sound healings, whatnot. So please come aboard. And I see Tani just joined. Hi, Tani. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here, sweetheart. And yeah, a lot of really wonderful things are starting to open, and I'm just really excited to be sharing in this way again in person. It's like one of my strong things that I've come to in this lifetime is to perform and to be gathering people and bringing people together. So thank you for being here tonight, and we're gathering together just in a different form. And one other thing that I've got cooking in the background is, I don't know if some of you remember the Empowering the Artist course that I did, an online course. It was earlier this year in spring. And shout out to all my students that went through that course, and then they went to a psychic meditation level 2, which I created, and I'm going to be creating more of. So any of you who are interested in that 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, let me know. All going to be online. I'm cooking up another Empowering the Artist course, but this one's going to be, you can take it whenever you want. So I'm recording all of the video, writing more content. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm doing some videos and I'm adding like some little imagery with it, so it's kind of like you get to watch like a little movie. It's going to be really fun. Short clips around what I'm teaching in each segment. So yeah, if you're interested in that, stay tuned to me again on Instagram at Fluidgirl. I'll be posting a lot of that stuff there. And I just created an Empowering the Artist Instagram page where every few days I'm posting a psychic quiz question to test yourself to see if you are in fact clairvoyant or clairsentient or the clairs, or you have some psychic abilities that you didn't know that you had. So I'm posting some really interesting stuff and some things to provoke your imagination and your own abilities, especially relating to your art. I always relate it to your art. And it's on Instagram. Just look for Empowering, I think it's _ the artist, and you can find me there. And another one more thing, on my intuitive readings, I've been doing readings for 20 years. For the month of September, I'm giving you the gift of $20 off my 60-minute reading. So if you want more information, right there, grovecirclehealing.com. You can go over there and see what I offer. Hi, Heather. Yay. Shout out to all the Sonoma County Spirit Sisters group. Such incredible ladies in there. That's a high vibration energy in that Facebook group. Love you all, ladies. Want to give you all a shout out too. So thank you all who are joining, popping in here and there. Okay, so did all my announcements. Whew. Done. Now, let's talk, and let me know if the music is ever too loud and you can't hear me so well, because what I'm hearing in my headphones is a little bit deceiving, because sometimes when I go back and play the replay of the videos, I'm like, oh my God, the sound was too loud. So please, you all, let me know if the music is ever too loud and I can just turn it down, okay? And thank you all for your time. Thank you for being here. Let's get spiritual. All right, so tonight, free will choice. Oh, thanks, Heather. Yeah, let me know if you want a reading. Sorry, she just said that she wants to have a reading. Please, Heather, visit here, grovecirclehealing.com. Let me know. All right, so free will choice. I think, I'm not saying everybody does, but I know that I do from time to time, as I can take this for granted. We are so blessed, really, to have this ability to choose. We all are born with this ability to choose, to have free will choice. And I know for some people, it can be, depending on your situation, it can feel like you don't have choices. And absolutely. I mean, I have been in many of those situations. And again, depending on upbringing, like things that happen in your life, it can make you feel trapped. It can make you feel like you don't have choice. However, I just want to remind you that we're always choosing. And, sometimes for me, that can be a hard pill to swallow, because, when you are deep in something and you feel like you're trapped and there's no way out, it feels like there's no other options. Let's just play with the idea that there could be, okay? And tonight we're going to be talking about that very thing, and, making choices like bad choices, although I don't believe that there's truly ever any bad choice, but I just framed it in that form because a lot of us understand what a good choice versus a bad choice is, or like choices that, we're like, oh man, I regret that. And again, if you do, it's all good. There's everything leading you to somewhere. Okay? So I just want to promote that, even though I might be saying bad choice, I really don't fully believe that there is a bad choice. Okay? So I'll say an alternate choice. All right? So what provoked this topic? Well, I have a daughter, and we were reading a book one night, and one of our friends gifted us like this awesome stack of books. And in one of the books, or stack of the books, was this book about this little boy who was a superhero. And he was reminded by his father in this book that he had the power to choose. That was his superpower as a superhero. So throughout this book, he can make different decisions. And if he makes a different decision, you turn to a certain page to show him the outcome of certain decisions. Why am I getting chills about this? This is so good. And when I was reading this book, I was like, wow, I think this would be a wonderful thing to talk about. Like, just reminding us all how we have this incredible ability to have free will choice, no matter what it is, right? Hey, Sabrina. Hi, Micah. So her little son, Sabrina, Micah's saying hi. So hi, Micah. I miss you, buddy. It's truly a gift, okay? And this book reminded me of this, like, wow, this really is a freaking superpower. And we all are superheroes. We have the ability to change. We do. We do. And it's always divine timing. Like, you listening to this talk, no matter if you listen to the archive or you're here live with me tonight, you are here for a reason. You were drawn to this for a reason, to give you an option to show you, like, yeah, I do. I have free will choice. I do have different options, and we're going to be exploring a little bit about what it can look like. Again, can, not is. I don't like to say certainty because everyone's different, right? And that, it's always there for us, okay? And this book inspired it. I was like, man, this is going to be a great talk. So, when we have made bad choices, but before I go on to this, I want to read something that Heather says. She says, so Heather Dare in the chat, she says, I feel that having free will of choice is the reason on this planet I will protect the freedom to choose by embodying sovereignty. Aho, ashe, aho, sister. Abso-frickin-lutely. Yes. And the more we remind ourselves and we remind each other that we always have the power to choose and to hold that for people, especially if you're working with someone, whether you're a healer or you're just, you're talking to a friend or a loved one that's going through a tough time, honor their choices, because it is their free will choice to go through whatever it is that they're going through. It's for some reason, for them, their journey, their soul's journey through a human body. They are choosing whatever they're choosing for whatever reason. And in some cases, it can be so freaking frustrating to see the people that you love, maybe even yourself included, go through really difficult things, or they're in this certain pattern and they're not changing no matter how many times you tell them or offer them support, or they get support and they just don't use it. Again, it's their free will, right? So how can you stand in that, as Heather was saying, by embodying sovereignty, and also, just allowing them and even yourself to make bad choices, mistakes. And again, I don't believe that that's the case. I always believe that there's a reason that we even make these decisions. We are in a 3D reality. This 3D reality that we're in right now in present time is about contrast. The beauty of contrast is in decisions. So when you make a choice, there's an outcome. Some call it, in some cases, it can be a consequence, right? Depending on how you look at it. And it can be a powerful place. And again, depending on how you look at it and your lens, because sometimes when we have bad decisions, it can be through the lens of judgment, self-judgment of yourself and others, okay? However, there's a big, grand plan going on with Supreme Being, God, Goddess, whatever you call the great creator. It's got a plan. You're a part of that plan. You're here for a reason. The decisions that you're making affects you. It affects all of us. And, and again, there's no right or wrong in any of this. This is the power of how connected we all are, because we all come from the same source. And whatever you're choosing is perfect for you. even if you're in a pattern of like, oh my God, I keep making the same freaking choice. I'm in this pattern. How do I get out of it? Like I was saying earlier, you can feel stuck. Totally honor that. It's all good, y'all. Like, there's divine timing in everything. Like there's things that I've done in my life and that I still do. And I'm like, wow, I'm still doing that. Like one of the things I just was reminded of myself recently is I'm really hard on myself. And this comes from old conditioning. Like my dad, he was kind of like this, even my mom. And also in school, like comparing and contrasting myself with other people. It was like a social, conditioning that I was in. And I'm still learning about all the ways that it can show up, and learning how to just be present with myself and to forgive myself, which is another part of choosing, especially if you feel like you made a bad choice or a mistake, is that how can you find the forgiveness in that? Because forgiveness is truly the greatest healer, as well as gratitude, I believe, right? Especially with yourself. So I've been learning that, and that it's okay. It's this part of me that, and even with you, like if you have something that shows up over and over, like, why am I still doing this? It's a part of, what makes you dynamic, what makes you contrasty, right? Because we're not here to be perfect. Perfect would be boring, right? I forget this quote from Marilyn Monroe, but one of my friends gave me this makeup bag that has this quote from Marilyn Monroe, which basically says, I'd rather be imperfect than boring, because, it's more interesting. So you can think of it that way too, okay? So just wanted to share a little bit about that. But one question that you can ask yourself, and I know if any of you want to chime in on the chat, is how, and if we were in a classroom together, we would get some more feedback, like live feedback back and forth. And just so you know, real quickly, before I move on with any discussion, is that I do have a 20-second delay with the film, because it's just how I've worked my Twitch stream. It works better that way. So if you ask a question, I'll get it 20 seconds later. Or if you comment, I'll get it 20 seconds later. But I am listening and I am watching, okay? Because I have a screen right here where I can see you, okay? So a question that you can ask yourself, if you have a journal in front of you, you can write this down, is how do you know when you've made a bad decision or a mistake, or let's say an alternate decision that you may have, wanted to do differently? But how do you know? How do you know when it's bad? Okay. Some ways that it can show up is guilt, shame. You actually hurt someone. Now I'm talking about you getting this kind of response, okay? You actually hurt someone physically, emotionally, even energetic. There can be like energetic harm, okay? And, it's a response that got your attention, okay? So the responses that get your attention are gifts. They're also messages and messengers to show you as a reflection in your world, this is the decision that you made. Like kind of going back to that book that I read, the child's book. And the decisions that he would make, like one of the examples was so cute. Like he was this little superhero kid, and he like, he's a toddler, so he's like pitching a fit. He's like, I wanted this plate, and my mom wouldn't let me. And the choice is like, do you hit your brother because he's got your plate? Or choice B is like, do you just choose a different plate and you kind of let it go? And then both my daughter and I, we would go through the different choices and the different outcomes that would happen because of this thing. Like when he chose that he wanted to hit his brother, his mom got really mad at him and he got punished and he didn't get to do something, or he didn't go to the playground or something. And then when he chose to let it go, just use the plate he was given, he got to go to the park and sell lemonade. So it was really cool to watch how my daughter would choose to, and the responses that she got. And I would ask her afterwards, like, how did you feel about that decision? What do you think happened? And just to hear her reflection of how it affected her, and realizing the effect that it had on this little character in this book. So these are ways that again, if we were in a discussion together in the group, we would be, sharing more and more feedback around what is, quote unquote, in your own experience, in your own a definition, what a bad decision is or a mistake. And again, there's truly no such thing. I believe they're all leading you somewhere, okay? But the more conscious you become, I feel that, and what I mean conscious is like the more aware you become of yourself, your effects on other people, and the choices that you have and how they affect other people. I know in my experience, the more conscious I become, the more I am really realizing, when I have decisions that have a certain outcome, the effects that it has on people. And I will really notice the process that I go through when I notice that I have an effect on someone. I get really hit hard with it. And so it gives me an opportunity to reflect and go, okay, well, maybe next time I will make a new decision. Or, when sometimes your mistakes can get loud, meaning like the response is pretty intense, it can give you an opportunity to really feel it, to really go through it, to give you that contrast, so you may not do that again. That's the beauty of it, okay? So that's the gift. So one question that you could ask yourself, when you make a decision that's, let's say, not the most fun, or, you make a mistake, or, it's a bad decision, again, quote unquote, why do you do this? Okay? It could be related to, like, especially if you know better, like, why do you do this? Maybe on some level, internally, you're looking for a loud response. You maybe need more contrast to get you to really understand and land, like, okay, this is something that I've really got to listen to, or this is something that, is really getting my attention. Or, I just want to say this will be the devil's advocate. No judgment here. But you could be one of those people that likes to get those little responses that get that negative attention, maybe because you might like it. And again, you can ask yourself, why do you like it? Is it because you like getting that kind of response back? Does it give you something? What does it give you? Is it from someone that you learned that was like this, like a guardian or a parent, or even, some friends that you were around that, for some reason you feel that it's a benefit to you? And again, no judgment. If that's your thing, great, okay? So again, good to ask yourself these questions, because when you ask yourself questions, it breaks the pattern, okay? Because when you're in it, some people call it a habit. Now, a habit is only a habit when you're not conscious of it. However, when you become conscious of the pattern, you are now in free will choice. Okay, so know that. I got that quote actually from Bashar. If those of you do not know Bashar, Bashar's incredible. He's Daryl Anka channels this being called Bashar. Look him up on YouTube. Incredible. So he talks about that idea. And when I heard this years ago, I was like, wow, that's so true. Because we're like, oh, it's a habit. That can be kind of from a victim perspective, meaning that we don't take responsibility and the ability to respond, which also comes from Bashar. You break down that word. Okay? So when and if you decide to become more conscious, you break habits, okay? And then you become into that free will choice, which is great, because then again, you have that conscious awareness, and then you can choose with your free will choice whether or not you want to keep this pattern up, if it's still serving you. And if it is, great, keep it going until something else comes. And I don't know if any of you have ever, been in a pattern and you keep doing it, and then the response gets louder and louder and louder. And in some cases, you get into a car accident, okay? Like the universe is like, hello, are you listening, right? And so it's almost like your angels, your guides, your ancestors, all of the beings that are with you, they're kind of like getting your attention, your spirit guides. They're like, are you going to listen to this? So sometimes you'll have outside forces that will support you in making different decisions if you're, not making decisions that I would say are more aligned with your highest good, okay? So again, different things to chew on, different things to sit with. This is only things that I've learned in my own training and my own experience with working with people in a healing world for almost 20 years, doing intuitive guidance readings and teaching and whatnot. So again, take this with a grain of salt. If it makes sense to you, great. If it doesn't, toss it out. That free will choice, right? So I just wanted to put that out there, okay? Now, again, ask yourself why. Okay, why do you make these decisions? Why are you in certain patterns? How is it serving you? If it is serving you, write it down. Really get curious. It's really cool when you get curious, because sometimes when you write these things down, you really kind of pick it apart. There's a lot of hidden stuff in some of the decisions that we make. You can track stuff back to, conditioning from your childhood. I mean, it can go pretty back there if you want to. So something to sit with. So Another thing that you can do is after you realize, okay, maybe I made a mistake, or, again, no such thing, but still, I want to change a pattern. How can you turn it around? A few things I have been mentioning. What is the gift? Okay. Why do you do it? When you research it, you kind of get curious, be a detective, your own personal detective with your decisions and your patterns. Like, why do you keep choosing this thing? And why do you feel like you can't choose it as another, or choose something different? Explore that. Okay. But again, finding the gift is a really wonderful way to see a broader perspective of this actual thing, this actual idea. Okay, a broader perspective of why you're making these choices and how it's affecting you, how it's affecting others, maybe even the whole world. Okay. And again, the gift, it's like a reframe in your mind. Okay, it can also pull you out of a pattern and give you a different perspective, hence bringing you back into free will choice. Okay. So again, it just gives us a chance to do something different. So, you could also ask yourself, how would the situation be different if we knew we could choose differently and were empowered even when we were making decisions we didn't want to? Where's the power? Where is your power? Explore it, find it, analyze it, be a little detective. See what you come up with. Could be really interesting for you. As I've done this in my own world, that's what I was saying earlier, when you become a little detective of why you make certain decisions and how it affects others, and where's your power in that, where's the gift. It's just such a wonderful way to get really, conscious of your decisions and how you can recreate your life, which is what I really stand for, especially now more in my life than ever. I am just really in such deep transformation with making choices and choosing. And I don't know if any of you listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza. Love that man. He is such an incredible human. And he has these incredible meditations that I do, but his books are incredible. He really talks about this idea of like having conscious choice and how you can change and your patterns and how it works scientifically with your brain. He's incredible. So if you want to check him out, highly recommend him and his books. Becoming Supernatural, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, incredible book. Highly recommend that one. Really, really good with this idea of free will choice and why you make these decisions. Even the addictions to the chemicals in our brains and in our bodies. In that movie, like What the Bleep Do We Know? He's actually in that movie, Dr. Joe Dispenza. He talks about this thing. Maybe you can revisit that movie. That's a really cool movie relating to this idea about free will choice too. And of course, the chemicals that can get involved again with being addicted to the adrenaline rushes of like when we do something wrong or do something bad, we get in trouble. That type of thing. Or choose partners that are kind of like that. There's like a rush of energy that we get from it. So it's a really interesting rabbit hole that we could go into around all this. But if you want to dive in further, check out his stuff, Dr. Joe Dispenza, especially the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Really, really powerful. Okay. So another thing you can ask yourself is, how do I know when I've made a good choice or a choice that feels good to you? It's reaping some benefit. Okay. One of the explanations that I have is that everybody wins. No one is a loser. Meaning that everyone is gaining something out of the situation. Everyone is feeling good. They're feeling energized. Maybe they're feeling inspired. Maybe, you're in a situation with a group of people and there could be this idea of a bad decision, okay, that could collectively be in a space. Let's say one thing that's coming to me, let's say you're a teenager and you're around like 5 or 6 other kids and some drugs come into the scene and you're kind of holding this like, I really don't want to go there, but everyone else is doing it. But, you sit in your truth and you're like, you know what? I don't really want to do that. And maybe you making that decision affects other people around you that might be feeling the same way, that make the same decision, and you inspire them, and then the drug energy goes away, or some people do it and then you don't. You all kind of go off into your own thing. So that's an idea of how it could be different and how, like an actual literal thing that can happen. You have a sense of accomplishment that you followed your heart. Okay. You're energized, you're inspired to do more and make similar choices. So like, for instance, in that one situation I just mentioned, if you were a teenager in a situation where, drugs come into like a party or something, you don't want to do it, and it inspires other people, maybe that inspires you to be a person that just shows up like that for your friends, that you feel so good from this experience and it helped so many of your friends that you're like, wow, you know what? I loved how this really inspired people to do what they felt was right for them too. And I feel like I just want to do this more. And maybe you become, who knows, a freaking advocate for teenagers, you know, and like you show up and you do groups of like, you know, who knows where it can go. But this is the thing, is that, you know, energy flows where your focus goes. So if you're focused on doing good, you're focused on feeling good, you're focusing on your truth and what makes sense for you, and you know the things that you want to share in the world that make you feel happy, and you want to be an inspiration, that can grow into a really beautiful thing. Hence the other way too. If you're someone that's, you know, in a dark place and you just want to like take out your stuff on people, and you know, be in that space, and again, no judgment, we all get there. I've been there before. It can grow into a certain thing, right? So where's your energy right now? Where are you focused? Okay, and again, no judgment, just a little self check-in. I'm all about doing little self check-ins. How you doing? How's that heart? Okay, so again, good choices, and again, choices that feel good, they feel inspiring, they lead to good outcomes. And again, the outcome is generally that you just feel good. And another outcome is that you get an energetic boost in your body. I know that for me. I don't know if any of you have ever felt that, but when I make, let's say, quote unquote, a bad decision, or a decision that, you know, I would maybe choose something else prior to that, I feel a little low energy. I notice that my mood, you know, gets a little affected, and or if I make a good choice, I feel like, let's say I didn't have much energy, and then I make a decision that feels really good, I get energized, I feel more talkative, I want to socialize, you know, I want to build the energy. So those are different ways that it can literally affect you on an energetic level, and as well as physical level. Excuse me. So, good choices. Try it, explore it, see what works for you, and see why you make good choices. Why the choice, again, just relative term, you know, good, not meaning any judgment around it, but what the choices that feel, again, good for you. Why do you choose those? Explore it, be a detective, okay? The ones that don't feel good, the choices that don't feel good, explore why, as well as the good. Get curious with yourself. It's really neat when you practice this exercise, because you learn a lot about yourself, okay? And then how do you know when you're ready to make new choices, okay? You can sense that you want things differently. You know, it's kind of like that call to spirit, the silent, not silent, but the quiet voice in the background that's kind of tickling you from behind, maybe whispering in your ear. You might want to make a different decision. You might want to make a different choice. You might want to leave that job. You might want to go with that friend or not show up at that party. That's the voice, right? We all have had that voice, I believe, on some level. In some cases, it's gotten pretty loud in some situations. So that can be one way. You kind of feel the call of spirit, like, you know, I feel like I might want to make a different decision, or I might not want to go. That's like your intuition calling in there too, okay? So, or someone, like if you're in a relationship with someone, whether it be a friend, a relative, an actual partnership, someone asks you, you know, like, when you make this decision, I really have this effect, and I really love you very much, and I want to be in a different situation. You know, again, free will choice. You can choose to say, hey, you know what? I'm my own sovereign being. I can keep making this decision no matter what effect it has on you, okay? Or you could be a person that's just like, wow, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and wow, I really see that is a, you know, it affects you that way, and you know, you apologize or what have you. You know, that's another way that it can show up for you when you're ready to make a new choice. Like, you know, how your reality is like communicating with you and sharing with you. It can be through other people. Okay, that's another way that it can show up. You can feel the push to speak up or make a change. Okay, like, you know, sometimes the emotion of anger, that's a really, really powerful place to speak up. Some people, they get really angry and they say a lot. They might regret things, but when you're angry, or if you're someone that doesn't normally speak up and you can feel that like, or like something that just wants to come out of you, that's a signal of change, right? Or again, if you're someone that kind of energetically just like lets all your anger out on people, look at the response. How's that response that you're getting from that? Are you feeling like, ooh, you know, how would I feel if someone did that to me? Ooh, I don't know if I would like that. You know, again, the inquiry around all of this, and looking at the response, because people will tell you all day how they're living, how they're doing, but how they act is their truth, okay? So the same with your decisions. When you're in a situation and you're noticing like there's a change wanting to come up, and you notice your reality is the response of you putting your energy out there, okay? So again, that's another way that you can look at how you might be ready to make a change, or a change is being asked of you, maybe even from Great Spirit, Supreme Being, or your guides, your angels, your ancestors that are kind of like, you might want to make a different decision. So pay attention to those when they come up, okay? Or boredom. I'll just end with that one on that segment. Boredom is when you're getting a sign that things need to shift. You're getting bored. Like things are not inspiring to you anymore. You're feeling like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of bored with this thing. There's no energy there for you. That's an energetic signal that things need to change, okay? So another thing that you can do is that how you can make new preferred choices, okay? Again, consciousness, inquiry, asking why. First of all, decision. A declaration can be very powerful. How many of you have ever stood in such an internal, strong declaration that things just naturally shifted? Me. When I decide on something, that's it. It's done. Sometimes I'll go back and forth a lot before. Another thing I'm working with. Well, it's been with me my whole life, but what can I do? But when I make that decision, it's done. Okay? So a declaration. And what is a declaration? You can literally just decide, like, I am not going to be a smoker. I am not going to drink alcohol anymore. I am not going to attract this type of person anymore. What I used to do with my clients on the table when I did body and energy work years ago, we learned about declarations in my holistic health program that I did and I graduated from in 2009. We learned about being someone who declares. So when you're on, I would, with my clients, when we would be on the table, I'd have this person going through this big shift, let's say in a relationship or with their body or something. Okay, now what do you know? And I would ask them to go into their knowingness about themselves. And what are you, and I would ask them, what are you choosing? I'm choosing health. I'm choosing well-being. I'm like, get up, get off the table. They'd be like, huh? Yeah, get up off the table. Put your feet on the floor. Look me directly in the eye and tell me, I am no longer this. I would have them do that. When you put your feet on the floor and you're standing, you can think of that also as your superpower, and you're also engaging your physicality with your voice and your energetic body. That's a really powerful way to anchor in your declaration, especially if you do it in front of a mirror. That can also bring up stuff for people, but it's a really powerful way to do it, okay? Or if you're in front of someone, like a healer or coach or a friend that you trust, a relative, a loved one, what have you, partner, and you really declare it, that's a beautiful way to make a choice and to decide, is to declare. Especially, I love doing this exercise when the SHIT gets really loud in my reality and I'm like over it. Like I'll feel just there are things happening over and over again, and sometimes out of my control, okay, that are happening in my world. I'm like, okay, universe, I will literally like demand from the universe, enough. Like I will stand in the middle of a room, maybe some people around, not, or by myself. I will just say it out loud. Enough, universe, enough. I'm putting my foot down, and literally I would just like stomp my foot on the ground and say, enough. Because also, we have free will choice, I believe, and what I've experienced in my world, especially when I do this exercise. You can slow down the momentum of stuff that's happening in your world. If you're getting barraged with like hit after hit after hit, like there was a few years ago when I was going through a really tough time with my body. I had this situation that was just reoccurring. And then, I had the death of my father and like all of these things happening at once. And I was like, universe, enough. I was like, that's it, enough. And I just declared it. And I've done this many times in my life, and it really does make a difference, and things will slow down. Because it's like the universe is kind of asking you, how much more can you handle? How much more can you handle? How much more can you handle? How much? Or if you have too many clients, enough, universe, I need a break. Whatever this looks like for you. Or if you want to literally just change a pattern. Declarations are so powerful, and declarations come from a a decision based in your free will. Okay? I'll leave you with that on that note. It's really wonderful there. So, again, when you become conscious of any negative situation, you are then in your power. There's no excuses. Like I was saying, it doesn't become a habit anymore. It's now a choice. Okay? There are no more excuses after that. Or you can choose an excuse. It's totally up to you. Free will choice, right? So, another way that you can work yourself through it, you can pray, you can meditate, you can ask for your ancestors, angelic, spirit guide support, friends, loved one. You can reach out to a coach. You can get a reading with me, okay, to help you make decisions if you're kind of pondering something. This is what people contacted me about with readings quite often. They contact me because they don't know whether or not to make a good decision. Again, don't mean to say good, but a decision around a specific outcome that they're looking for, whether or not they should leave their partner, whether they should move here or move there, or whether they should leave their career, or what career choice. Readings are really wonderful for that type of thing. And again, I'm just plugging. I've got $20 off my 60-minute sessions all of September. Hit me up, okay, if you want to get a reading. So that's a wonderful way too, okay? Or, if you have, these days a lot of people seem to have at-home tarot decks. If you're ever questioning a decision, pull out a card. I do that a lot, and it really helps me. I'm just like, Great Spirit, help me. Give me a clear answer. Sometimes I'll have to pull like a few cards, but the answer will come through. So there's many ways that you can do it these days, okay, how you can make those decisions. Or, another thing that you can do is if you're deep in a situation where you feel the choice to leave, get out, or make changes that are really difficult, start small, okay? Lay out your steps. You can write it down. Give yourself a deadline, okay? Do things one at a time. My invitation to you is try not to overwhelm yourself all at once if you're not ready, because it can backfire on you, okay? Meaning that you may believe that, oh God, if I do this big decision right now, it may have this outcome. So check in. Again, the self-inquiry is really important with especially bigger decisions that you're wanting to make. How ready do you feel for it? And one way that you can play with this idea on a scale is from 0 to 100%. From 0, meaning I am no freaking where ready to make this decision, 100%, I'm all in. Where are you at in that scale? And really check in. Okay, I'm like 40%. Probably not the best time to make that decision. Like 50, getting closer. 60, 75, maybe 90%. Getting really close to that decision. Okay, so that's a really fun way to check in and a gauge of a choice that you might be considering. Okay, again, weigh all the outcomes. You can do like the pros and cons. Do people do that too? I've done that many times. It's really helpful. So bigger decisions that you feel like you're in a deep situation, take your time. Okay, don't push yourself too hard unless you're getting that push from spirit that's like, get out, go to it. Okay, you'll know, and you know intrinsically what that message is for you. Okay, whether you need to take a little more time or you need to like get out now. Okay, and again, just keep choosing. Even if it gets really intense or heavy, keep choosing. Free will choice. Just remind yourself, maybe have a little sticky note somewhere up in your house. I always have choice. Or you can say, like, what am I deciding? What are you choosing? Where's my focus? Okay, those are great ways to remind you. You can have reminders on your phone, right? Reminding you, where are you? What decision have you made? Or where are you at? Blah, blah, blah. You know how to work this energy for yourself. But there's an idea for you with that, okay? Always choose. You always have choice. You can recreate any pattern, okay? You can do it step by step. You have the power to do this, okay? Now, a few other things that I just wanted to offer with personal processing, with decision making. I am a huge advocate for journaling. For me, I love writing. I've been writing ever since I was young. My dad was a writer. I find so much value in journaling. It really helps me so much because when I'm writing stuff down, I don't know about you all, but I get a lot of insight that comes from writing. It's like you get the energy out. It's like inside of you, right? You literally have a form that you're taking the energy out. You're putting it outside of your body so you can literally actually see it sometimes in front of you, which is really helpful. So journaling, really wonderful way to help you make a decision or to process something or to look at your patterns, or what I was saying before, if you want to ask the why, the questions, and journal about that, why you make bad choices, why you make good choices, and what is it relating to all of that for you. And then another thing that you can do is think of a memory, okay, when you made again, bad, quote, quote, decision about something? And why do you think you made that choice, and where did it lead you? What was the gift? Okay, explore. And you can do this with a good decision too, with your journaling or your processing. On our phones, we have that voice memo thing where you can just talk, and process that way too. Or you can talk to a friend about it, what have you, counselor, what have you. Those are a few ways that I just wanted to offer of how you can process decision making. That's really helped me in the past. And again, the thing I just want to keep reminding you all is ask yourself why. Why are you making any decision that you're making? Are you making it from your truth? Or are you making it from someone else's truth? Okay, another good self-inquiry question with free will choice. So, a lot to ponder, okay? So I hope that this served you with the information that I shared with you today, because we're about to go into our meditation. I'm very excited to offer this meditation to you. We are going to take just a little few moment break here, just a few minutes while I kind of get situated with some music and stuff. So you can grab your little cup of tea, cup of drink, okay? Oh my God. I just realized that on the chat, it says that I'm supposed to do the robot for 30 seconds. I forgot to change my my challenges for the stream elements. That is hilarious. Little robot for you all. Let's get spiritual. That's actually supposed to pop up in my my DJ sets. Little comedic lip relief there for you. Hopefully it made you laugh, made me giggle. Okay. So just take a few moments, take a little cup of little water here. I'm going to do the same. And process some of that information that hopefully you're downloading, you're taking in. It's really serving you. And again, thank you all for being here. Thank you for spending time with me this evening for Let's Get Spiritual. Time to me is the true value. So thank you for your time, y'all. I really appreciate it. Even if you're listening to the archived version, thank you. I really, really appreciate you. And if you need any support, please reach out. GroveCircleHealing.com. That's my website. I offer readings, and I'm also doing a lot of teaching these days. So please stay in tune with that, because I have sound healings I'm offering in person. Really wonderful for decision making too. You can get a lot of information and support and healing through sound healing. And then I'm also going to be teaching a lot of online courses. Okay, so please stay online and cute into what I'm posting about on Instagram and on my website. Okay, so let's do this meditation. We're going to do a little quick guided meditation, and we're going to do a guided meditation related to the idea of two decisions. You have one thing. So think of something that you're currently, maybe questioning, like whether I should do this or do this. Two different decisions. They can be a yes question or a yes answer or a no answer, or it can just be the idea of like you pondering two different choices, okay? And if you don't have currently anything that you're wanting to ponder, okay, get some clarity on, you can think of a past memory, okay? And, even though you may have made one choice, you can go into that in the vision. We'll look at that, okay? And then you can go into the other decision that you could have made, just so you can have the awareness, just for fun, okay, of what comes up for you with these two decisions, okay? So pay attention to what's coming to you right now in this moment. What is the thought of this idea of what you want to explore, whether it's a present time choice or past time, or could be even future, right? Whatever that looks like for you. And again, two different outcomes. So have the idea of what this is, because this is what we're going to take ourselves, take into this meditation. And we're going to do a guided meditation. I'm going to walk you through just a quick exercise to acknowledge your body, to get some support with your physicality, and then we're going to walk into a hallway. Okay, the hallway is your question of what you should do or that situation, okay? And then we're going to go into a hallway and see two doors, okay? Then we're going to go in one door and then the other door and see what unfolds for you in there. So pay attention to the imagery. If you're a person that can see visually, great. If you're not, that's okay too. Listen to the words. Maybe you get a memory will come up, or a thought, or any inspired idea. So just pay attention to however it shows up for you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. This is just a guided journey. It will be archived, so you can go back and revisit it again if you want to, okay, and try it again. Okay, so let's go into our meditation. I'm just going to put on a different song here. too loud. I may turn it up just a hair. Okay, and if it's too loud, just put it in the chat. I'll be watching. Okay, if it's too loud. Meaning the music. Okay? So go ahead and get into your little comfy spot, whether you're sitting or lying down. Take some deep breaths. Breathe into your body as a whole. How is your body feeling as a whole? And just note any areas that are trying to get your attention. And then just breathe into those areas. And as you exhale, you can just exhale out any tension, any discomfort, anything that you're ready to let go of in this moment in time. Just imagine that energy leaving your body like little filaments of light and just dispersing into the ethers. As that light and all the things that you're releasing, they're going into the ethers and they're being replenished by Supreme Being or even by the earth. They're just being replenished into reusable energy for all that is. Again, just gentle breaths right now with yourself and your body. Really allowing yourself to fall into this moment. You've been taking in some information around free will choice. You're just acknowledging if anything came up for you, any triggers, any judgments, what have you. Just acknowledge those. They're real for you. They're real. Just feeling into that. Breathing. And now I want you to walk your awareness up into the center of your head, the place where you visualize your sixth center or sixth chakra. Your imagination space. And now I want you to imagine and feel into this choice. Maybe it was a past choice or a future choice or a present time choice that you're pondering. Should I do this or should I do that? Two different choices. Just have that with you as you walk into this visualization, this moment we're going to be sharing together. And as you have that intention with you, imagine that you see this beautiful hallway and you're inside of this hallway. And this hallway represents that particular question. Say you want to leave a relationship or you want to have this career, going to this career or this career, or whether I should go to this school or that school, or be with this person or that person. Just kind of let that decision, or excuse me, that choice show itself to you in the form of this hallway. And in your knowingness in this hallway, you know that this decision is there for your highest good, whatever decision that you decide to make. And that it's there to serve you, and that there's a gift in whatever decision that you decide to make that's for your highest good. And as you come into this hallway, have that intention with you as well. That you have that I'm going to see these two decisions in this hallway, these two doors that are going to show up for me, and they're going to help me with a decision that is for my highest good for myself and everyone and anything that's involved in this decision. So just walk down this hallway for a moment and just imagine that, you're just pondering, like, okay, whether I should do this or do that. I want you to notice two doors in this hallway that are directly across from each other. You can just say that one of these doors is not necessarily the highest intention for you, like for yourself and other people's quote-unquote a bad decision. Okay? Just see that door, and again, just be an observer to it. Try not to have any judgment, just observe. This is again an exercise for you to play with the idea of learning how to make different decisions. It's a fun way for you to practice it. Just see what that door looks like. What does the actual door look like? Is it wood? Is it old? Is it new? Is it shiny? Is it dull? Is it dark? Again, the so great decision. Just explore the door with your imagination. And notice how you feel outside the door. Okay, what is coming up for you as you're like standing in front of this door? So, what are you picking up on with your own emotions? And then let's just open the door. And let's just go inside just for a few moments. Just walk in that door into the idea of what would be a quote-unquote not such a great decision for this thing you're thinking about doing. And as you go into this room or this place, what are you seeing in there? Are there people in there? What is the scenario that's unfolding about you making this decision? How are you in this room? And what kind of effect are you having as an overall effect making this decision? I'll give you a moment to be with that. Again, what are you seeing, sensing, feeling in this not so great decision? Just assess the information that you got, again, through the eyes of the observer. And then when you're ready, step out of that room now and you can shut the door. And then as you're outside of this door, give it an internal thank you. Thank you for being willing to show yourself to me so I can have the consciousness around what this decision would mean for me if I decided to go this way. As you're outside of that door, before we go into the next decision, exploring that, what is the gift in this? And pay attention to what comes up for you if you were to make that choice and what the gift would be. You're ready, again, just saying thank you to that door. And now turn to the other door. That would be quote unquote the good decision, or the decision for your highest good for yourself and all involved. What does that door look like? Is it big? Is it small? Is it bright? What are you noticing? Maybe you can even look at the doorknob. What does the doorknob look like? Does it have a keyhole? Just taking in this information just by observing the door. And how do you feel outside of this door, just like you did with the other one? Do you feel energized? Do you feel, I don't know, whatever you're feeling, just make note. Open that door. Open the door, go inside the room with this decision. Now why? Why is this a good decision, quote unquote, good decision? Why is this a decision for your highest good? What are you seeing in this room or this choice, the door of this choice? How are the people being affected? What effect is it having on you? What do you see unfolding in this room from this decision? And I'll give you a moment to be with that. Okay. Now as you're in this room, just notice again the effect that it has on you and others, and why, again, would this decision be for your highest good? And when you're ready, you can come out of that door, go back into the hallway, and then close the door, standing in front of that door like you did the other just feel the energetics of the doors. Which one really is drawing you in that would be for your highest good and which one is not. Just kind of also another way you can check in with the doors. But again, sending a thank you to both of these doors, both of these choices, because they both have gifts in their own way. And as you're sitting between these two choices, again, in the hallway of this thing that you're pondering, and also like a hallway of free will choice, okay? What have you gained from this experience? What do you think you're going to choose? What's the clarity that you have? And then when you're ready, you can lower your hands in this image and turn around and then walk out of the hallway. Again, with lots of gratitude and appreciation for being willing to go into this meditation so you can practice a little bit of your own clairvoyancy. You were just being intuitive and kind of psychic doing this. This is what I teach, okay? And then come back to your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Taking again that information with you into your free will choice of what you can do now moving forward, or what you learned from that experience if you were revisiting a pastime choice. What is the wisdom you're bringing with you back from this? Take a deep inhale and exhale, and then you can slowly open up your eyes. Hopefully my music was not too loud. Oh my goodness. Yay. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that meditation. I can't wait to do it myself. I haven't done that one yet. The guided meditations just come to me and I just know what to do. So I'm really excited to do this one myself. It's going to be super fun. So if we have a few moments here, again, we have a 20-second delay. Let me know what came up for you, or you can message me privately. If you're not friends with me on Facebook or Instagram, or you can just message me at grovecirclehealing.com, or grovecirclehealing@gmail.com if you want to send me a private message around what came up for you in your meditation. I would love to hear it. Yeah, this is powerful work. I really am such an advocate for guided meditations. They have served me and others on so many levels, and I really love sharing them. It's just a natural gift that I have to do these meditations. I have had this gift for quite some time. They just come to me, and I'm like, oh, it's like no problem. I can just belt them out. And so I hope, my heart is such hope, that this meditation gave you some insight and some clarity and some wisdom around a decision that you might have been pondering. And it could have been a decision that maybe you were thinking about for quite some time, and tonight you got the clarity. Oh, I would be so happy for you if that was what happened for you. And again, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for using your free will choice to spend time with me tonight on Let's Get Spiritual. I couldn't be more grateful. Thank you again. I hope to see you on Thursday for my live DJ set. Same place, same channel, twitch.tv/Fluidgirl. Hope to see you then. In the meantime, sweet dreams. Tonight may have opened up some stuff for you in your psychic vision, so pay attention to your dreams tonight, because we've activated some stuff for you with this guided meditation, and also what came up in tonight's free will choice talk. All right, everyone, lots of love to you. I hope I get to see you again soon. Take great care, and yeah, I'll see you on Thursday. Good night, everybody.